going to look like next year? Do you need to kind of like have several contingency plans?
I think I feel pretty good about what we'll have. I mean, we don't know. I think there's a few guys who could, make competition pretty fierce at Hawks camp. But whoever we get, I think we'll have a lot of really nice players. And you're right, we had some really good veteran influence at the end, the last half of the year, last few months, and they did a good job for us. But I also think we had some excellent contributions from first and second year guys. And the thing that excites me is we're going to have some of those guys back, and we can build on what we established and how we want to play and mentality and identity and all that kind of thing. And that will speed up the process for the new guys that will come in, and there will be some, and some of them are here. And that makes me excited to get going.
I don't know how different your answer is going to be from late in the semifinals, but how would you assess the way Victor Ejdsell was able to progress his game? Seemed to flash at certain times during that playoff run, and other times, if it's just statistics you're looking at, kind of waiting for him to jump out too.
Yeah, I think he did a good job. It's tough to expect more from him in his first opportunity over here, and there is an adjustment period, and that's didn't surprise anyone. But he ended up scoring some pretty big goals for us and played in important situations. And there were times where it looked like it was his first experience over in North America, but there were also times where we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did without him. So I don't think we should have expectations on what he's going to do. He's very skilled. He has the chance to become a player. Timeline, who knows? Let's see how he looks in the fall.
There are a lot of defensemen that are probably going to be playing in Rockford. How do you juggle everyone's minutes fairly, and especially this coming season with the logjam?
We just got to make sure there's justice. The guys who are doing the right things and playing the way we want to play and helping us have success, they're the ones that get the opportunity. And competition, I view it as good. It's going to be a battle for ice time and roles, and I think that's a great thing. And the guys that get through, the guys that the cream that rises, they're going to be great players. And I don't think there's never room for everyone. That's not how this business works. So let's have them fight for it and see what comes out of it.
Is something like that solely merit-based, or did the Blackhawks kind of say, hey, we want to make sure this guy's getting these kind of minutes in these kind of situations? Do they have some say in that?
Well, of course, it's always a discussion. We're in it together, and we're trying to develop these guys and help them reach the next level. But nothing can be given for free. I mean, you got to earn what you get, and who knows who's going to become a player? I mean, I think it's hard to say that guy's going to become a player, and we're going to clear the brush for him. And I don't think that works. And I think everyone's in agreement there. And the guys that are going to make a difference for you, they're going to battle through a little bit of a logjam, and I think that's going to build some character, not only individually but as a group too.
I was talking with Alex 14, and I was impressed. He seemed to have a good, mature perspective on last season. I'm sure that scoring 4 or 5 goals was not what he had in mind, but he felt like he got a lot out of it. How did you see him handle all that?
Yeah, I agree, and I think the fact that he can have that kind of conversation with you shows it. Certainly, with the training camp he had 2 years ago, and media maybe narrative, it wasn't what he expected, but it doesn't mean it wasn't a very successful year for him as far as learning how to be a pro, what it takes to be a pro. And I think I'm excited to see how he reacts this year. He wasn't healthy all season. He was in and out, and I think it's tough as a first-year guy, 20-year-old, to really make an impact. It's not an easy league to play in, American League, and so he definitely helped us when he was in, but he didn't play consistently enough health-wise to really grow as maybe he can. So let's hope it happens now, but I really like his mentality.
Is he one of those guys that just has to learn how to deal with his speed on the ice, like to play within his speed, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but I don't think it's not I wouldn't say it's a negative. It's a great weapon he has, and makes it uncomfortable for teams to defend. And he's a guy that he can advance the puck, whether he can chase one down or he gets available, and all of a sudden you have to play in D zone, and all of a sudden you're in the offensive zone, and the amount of guys that can transport the puck through the neutral zone when they're gassed, that's a huge thing. And he creates, through his speed, turnovers and opportunities offensively for himself and his line mates, and that's it's a big weapon to have. So I just think you've got to realize he's, I don't know if he's 21 yet, but he's a kid, and it's going to come, I believe.
How do you envision the goaltending scenario playing out next year with a bunch of young guys kind of battling for starts?
Yeah, it's similar to the defenseman discussion. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We see, from my perspective, we wait for training camp with excitement, and I love the battles, and it's fun to watch, and we get who we get, and it's our job to help those guys out as quickly as possible. Maybe we'll get some guys who are good enough to play in the NHL, I don't know, but we want to get them ready as soon as we can, and hopefully they can make an impact when they get the chance.
It's only been 2.5 days of drills here, mostly drills, but has anybody kind of opened your eyes and like, wow, this guy looks more surprising than I thought, or anything like that?
It's hard to say. I think the guys who you expect to look good, and but at the same time, it's drills. It's hard to. I don't think it's probably fair to evaluate these guys after we're 2.5 days, and some guys haven't skated, and some guys have been skating since they probably took 5 days off and started skating again. So I think you try not to make too many evaluations. It's more so trying to expose them to how we want to play and certain concepts and things that they'll be expected to do with the Hawks or with us, and then hopefully they're a little further ahead when they come to camp eventually.
Seems like goalies take a little longer to develop. Why do you think that is?
Oh, hard for me to say because I'm not a goalie, but I just think there's a lot of pressure. It's all on you. You're the last one. You can't hide, and I think the other thing is there's tremendous competition in position. There's a lot of goalies out there, so I think it's no surprise that sometimes guys come into their own in their late 20s. But I think every guy's path is different too. So, but I probably am not the one to make too many broad statements about it.
I know it's just drills, but as a guy who played the position, are you still able to tell a little bit of a sense of elite talent when you look at Boquist and Beaudin for the first time?
Well, I was a forward. I was a centerman,
okay.
But certainly they show there's a reason why they were picked when they were, and exciting to add guys with that kind of ability to the organization. And now their journey starts. It's really the work happens now. This week is a big step for them, just to be here and be exposed to everyone and get comfortable, and see what happens.
Even though you relied on some of the more experienced guys like Franz and Glenn Denning during that playoff run, how much did the likes of Forsling and Dahlstrom prove reliability in those big games?
Yeah, they did. That was a big thing. Very pleased with both those guys and their playoff runs. I think there's no doubting the raw ability and the mobility. That's the biggest thing that I look at with those two guys, is they're tremendous at defending the line, and that's what we want them to value. Of course, it's fantastic. They can make plays and they can create offense off the rush and beat a guy one-on-one every once in a while and make that 100-foot pass. But the big thing, we want them to defend territory and defend lines and get the puck back for us. And I think they did an excellent job in the playoffs and a big part of our success. So, excited to see them hopefully come in the fall and do everything they can to earn a job.